This is a way to keep G4 TV alive. And please be courteous and watch through the whole video. Thank you very much. And enjoy. Hey everybody, David Calderon here, telling you all welcome and letting you all know that Revenge of the Show here is back. Yeah, I'm still calling it Revenge of the Show. As a continuation of Attack of the Show. From the network G4. I know that it's been a while, and I haven't been making that much videos at all during the summer, but still. But now I'm back, and this is like I'm officially going to call it Season 2 of Revenge of the Show. And there's a lot I want to talk about so far today. Well, there is one thing I can first tell you all about. First of all, is the show Warrior Nun. It first started on Netflix, but then it got canceled after season 1. Lots of people were upset. More upset than they were when Inside Job was canceled. And also, here's a reminder. Spread the word still. Now I heard that Warrior Nun got renewed for season 2, but it will not be on Netflix. But still, thanks to the popular demand, Warrior Nun got renewed for season 2. I mean, I haven't watched it, but still, it's glad to know that show is continuing. Now there is another thing I want to talk about, and that is World Wrestling Entertainment. And by that I mean, first of all, their championships. And first of all, in Monday Night Raw, after the official WWE draft, and since Roman Reigns, who was still officially the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship, he was drafted into Friday Night SmackDown. And since he brought this title with him, the corporate of WWE, as well as Triple H, brought back the World Heavyweight Championship, which I gotta say is really way more than what I expected at that time. Yeah, I even saw that the first ever title defense, like for the inaugural championship, and that championship is still Seth freaking Rollins. I say that's pretty good for him to be the champion, the world champion. I'll say it was about damn time. I mean, it hasn't been the same ever since I retired it. But this year they finally brought it back. And even Seth Rollins managed to defend it against Finn Balor from the Judgment Day. And I gotta say, it was a pretty good fight. But not as much as exciting as the Money in the Bank ladder match. Which, of course, is Damian Priest, one of the Judgment Day members. And he tried to cash it in last night, but Finn Balor stopped him. I guess it because he was jealous. I mean, first the Bloodline was disbanded, as the Usos left the Bloodline, leaving only Roman and his cousin Solo Sikoa. But now, will the Judgment Day be disbanded? Who knows? Well, we gotta wait later on this month. I mean, today is the 4th of July. But yeah, apart from Damian Priest winning the Money in the Bank contract, there was also Io Sky, who also won the Women's Money in the Bank contract. She hasn't cashed it in yet. One thing I want to talk about Money in the Bank was Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa versus the Usos. And yes, the Usos did win. Jimmy and Jay Uso. They did win. After being too much of being in the shadow, and after, they haven't been the same ever since they lost their titles at WrestleMania 39. But now they're starting to see the light of it, and they finally left the bloodline. But a few nights ago on Money in the Bank, the Usos managed to defeat Roman and Solo. And this time, Roman Reigns was pinned. It was the first time ever in 3.5 years. And that was just the first start. Probably in SummerSlam, he's going to lose that title. I don't know to who. Maybe Bobby Lashley. Maybe Gunther. Apart from Roman, Gunther has a pretty good streak of being the Intercontinental Champion. But I think that might take a while because right now he's going to be feuding with Drew McIntyre, who came back in Money in the Bank after Gunther won, and is still the Intercontinental Champion. I still can't believe it. Alright, so apart from that, let me talk about the rest of the gold. Apart from the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, there was also the current Roman being the current champion, and after surpassing 1,000 days, he got a new title, which I can show you right here for a second. And I gotta say that is a better improvement. They should have used that for Monday Night Raw when they brought in the Universal Championship. I know it would seem identical, but at least it would have been better than being red or even blue. Which of course Roman still has those, the former championships. But yeah, with that yellow one, with that black and yellow Undisputed Championship, which I call it that because that's what it says. Because apart from the center plate with black diamonds for the W, and with the gold in the background, on the bottom it says Undisputed Champion. Which of course that's what I call it now. It's not really universal anymore. And besides, we got the World Heavyweight Championship back, and it's on Monday Night Raw. After that, it wasn't just the two main championships themselves. It was also the two women's championships. And since when Bianca Belair got drafted to SmackDown and Rhea Ripley got drafted to Monday Night Raw, they both took their regular titles with them. And Bianca was the women's championship on Raw, which was red, and Ripley was the SmackDown champion, which was blue. And instead of switching it around, like they did that years ago with the tag team championships, they were given brand new women's championships. Well, not Bianca. Asuka managed to defeat Bianca Belair for her championship, and she was rewarded the brand new WWE Women's Championship. It was the same as the Undisputed Championship, but the difference is it was on a white leather strap. And the design like for the W and the gold in the background. But the difference is it says Women's Championship. So it was just officially the WWE Women's Championship. And as for Monday Night Raw, Rhea Ripley got a new championship herself. It was called the Women's World Championship. Which I gotta say, it is a pretty good name. And yeah, you guessed it, it's actually the same as the World Heavyweight Championship. It's just called the Women's World Championship. If you look closely at the picture, you can actually see the word women's. Which of course is really surprising. I guess they wanted to avoid Rhea Ripley going for the actual World Heavyweight Championship. But I gotta say, it looks pretty good. I gotta say, those titles are a real good improvement. Especially for the Women's Championship. They're not called the Raw SmackDown Championship. It's not called like the Raw or the SmackDown Women's Championship anymore. I mean, they made them more different than themselves, and I think that's a pretty good thing. I mean, they are a bit identical, but at least they're a bit different. But now I'm really looking for. I'm now really excited to know. Now there's going to be the tribal for the trial of the tribal chief. So who knows what's going to happen to Roman anyway? I mean, that was his first time he ever got pinned in 3.5 years, for what I know. Okay, well now today's the 4th of July. Well, right now, today we're like in the half part of summer vacation. I mean, it started in June, now it's July, and it ends in September 2nd. But first of all, right now it's the 4th of July. If those of you who have plans to see fireworks at night, be careful. You don't want to hurt anybody. There's always fireworks safety. But right now, in the start of the 4th of July, if you ever want to watch Independence Day, as well as the sequel Independence Day Resurgence, start doing that. I mean, I'm definitely going to do that later on tonight. So. But there's a lot of things to know about the real exciting part about summer, and I think you will know what I mean. And that is being the summer of punk. In other words, CM Punk. Oh boy. June 17th was wild. I mean, I didn't really go to the United Center for the premiere of AEW Collision, All Elite Wrestling Collision, for their second official live show. And it's on TNT. I mean, Rampage is now a pre-taped show. I mean, and besides, it only does last an hour, but All Elite Wrestling Collision lasts about 2 hours. And I really love it. Saturday Night Collision. Plus the title pays homage to the WCW Nitro. But CM Punk coming back is a real star. Let me tell you, this being the summer of Punk, and in other words, CM Punk, it's a really good start. I mean, like I said, CM Punk came back in June 17th in his hometown here in Chicago at All Elite Wrestling Collision, Saturday Night Collision, All Elite Wrestling's second official live show, which lasts 2 hours, which is pretty good. And let me tell you, the main event, CM FTR, that's CM Punk and the tag team champions FTR. Dax Harwood. Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler. Oh, man, I loved that show. I love that premiere. I mean, there are ups and downs. I mean, like a couple of weeks ago, like at the second episode, or like last week's episode. I mean, CM Punk did lose. I think it was to the Bullet Combat Club. But then in Forbidden Door, about a week or two ago, there was CM Punk against Satoshi. I forgot his last name, but yeah, CM Punk competed in Forbidden Door, and like he's one of the finalists in the Owen Hart Cup, like Owen Hart Tournament Cup. This Saturday in Collision, he's going to be competing against Samoa Joe to be in the finals. And from what I heard, it's been like about 15 or 18 years since those two competed against each other. I heard about Samoa Joe in the past times. Yeah, but from what I heard, those two fought against each other in Ring of Honor Wrestling. But I can't wait to see what happens on. Yeah, sorry. I can't wait to see what happens on Collision this weekend. But I mean, it's not just about CM Punk at AEW. I mean, there's also MJF. I mean, he managed to that's Maxwell Jacob Friedman. I mean, he's mostly a jerk, but hey, the title looks okay. I mean, with the big burgundy belt, it looks like it's more golden. But from what I can say about MJF, so far he's in a feud right now against Adam Cole. I mean, Adam Cole tried to defeat MJF, but time ran out before he can actually make a pin. But man, I think we know who MJF's next opponent is, and that is Adam Cole. Or it might be a triple threat match between MJF, Adam Cole, and CM Punk at All In London. I can't wait. I can't wait for All In. I mean that pay-per-view was the start of AEW. It started in 2018, and then about a year ago, the first ever pay-per-view for AEW was Double or Nothing. Then they had another pay-per-view which is All Out, which still might happen later on this year. But now with Tony Khan, who purchased Ring of Honor about a year ago and still own it, he also got the name All In. And they're going to debut it in London in the Wembley Stadium, and it's going to be more than 10,000 people that I know of. I gotta find a way to watch this show. Man, AEW in London. It's going to be exciting. Can't wait for that. Okay, with it being the revenge of the show, let's talk about some video games. From what I can tell is about Final Fantasy. There's a new Final Fantasy game coming soon, probably this summer. I'm not much into Final Fantasy games that much, but I know everybody else is. Then there's Diablo 4, which I know that came out. People went berserk for that. There was even this theatrical style roleplay thing, which I saw on a video at a GameStop store. Yep, and let me tell you, this is like the third year that E3 is not happening. This time because they have no sponsors, not even from PlayStation or Nintendo, or even from Xbox. They had to have their own separate things. I still can't believe it. Even other game developers pulled out. Beta Software, Square Enix, even Sega. I still would like them to make a new console for once. And I don't mean a replica thing. Unless they're doing the Dreamcast Mini. Who knows? I mean, we didn't get E3, but we did have Summer Game Fest, which was this time was now live. It was created by the same person who made the Game Awards. I gotta say, things haven't been the same ever since. Things haven't been the same. Hopefully, there'll be something brand new next year for E3. Hopefully. Can't expect another cancellation. As for Comic-Con, it's going to be a little different because of the writer's strike. Most movies and shows have been halted because of the writer's strike, especially. But now we don't know if some celebrities are going to be a part of it. I mean, really, that we can't have Comic-Con and get canceled. Man. Okay, so let's hope that everything goes well with Comic-Con. I would love to see Comic-Con live again. Okay, as for G4, I know that there's been if you go on Twitter, or like if you search on Google 4G on Twitch, yeah, 4G is like the fan-made G4 channel on Twitch. If you haven't watched it, I suggest you should. They even have their schedule lined up. They have their schedule posted on Twitter. That's what I can tell you. Now, one more thing I want to talk about, and that is the feed. First thing I want to talk about is Solar Opposites. if those of you who know that Justin Raleigh, who was one of the co-creator, who was also co-creator of that show, but also one of the co-creators of Rick and Morty, was fired because of like some allegations, which was denied, but he's still fired. He was also fired from Solar Opposites, but now even with his roles being changed and switched, he now got replaced by Dan Stevens, who was formerly the lead in the Marvel show Legion. I mean, it ended after 3 seasons. I mean, but with Dan Stevens, I mean, it was surprising that he even used his original voice. I saw a clip of it on Twitter, which was surprising. Yeah, at least they give it a good dialogue with that stuff. They even put in the intro for Solar Opposites, when now instead of Justin Raleigh, there's Dan Stevens with his voice. Now the real question is, who will be the new voices for Rick and Morty? I mean, will there be one person who will be voicing Rick and Morty, or will there be 2 separate actors who will be the new voices for Rick and Morty? Well, hopefully there'll be an answer on Comic-Con. Let's hope. But as for now, Twitter, according to Elon Musk, he said that there's this new temporary effect in the Twitter, which people with accounts can see and view only about 600 posts per day. Yeah, like there's a bunch of limits that are on Twitter, and I of course use Twitter, but with the limitations, some people are pretty much upset about this. I mean, there was an issue of like, will Twitter shut down for good? That was like about several months ago. But with these limitations, it's really upsetting users. Like, who knows what might happen? Even some people posted that they reached their limit once for the day. So who knows what might happen that time? And for those of you who are wondering if there will be a spin-off of Indiana Jones after the fifth movie, which I saw and is pretty good. Yeah, that is. You're all out of luck, because I heard that there was supposed to be a new spin-off for Indiana Jones after the 5th one, probably like a prequel series. And it was supposed to be on Disney Plus, but after some consideration, from what I heard, they said that they scrapped it. Like, they passed on the spin-off. Like, they decided to not go with the spin-off at all. And with that, so yeah, there's not going to be a spin-off of that. So it's official. So the 5th film of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is officially the final film in the series. I gotta say, I give that movie a 5 out of 5. But for there's also MI7, which is Mission Impossible 7. I mean, that's going to be premiering next week. Next week on Wednesday, July 12th. And so far, I'm going to get started by watching all 6 films. I mean, I never really watched the movies myself, but I hear good things about it, so I need to get started. But this weekend, this Friday, there's going to be a new chapter of Insidious. And that is, let me see, chapter 4, which is called The Red Door. Definitely. It will not be a prequel, it will be a direct sequel of the 2nd one. Like I saw the trailer once, and who knows what might happen. I gotta say, with Insidious, I mean, it will be terrifying. Anyway, this is David Calderon. This has been Revenge of the Show. Stay tuned later on this month as I start to talk about new things, especially with AEW and CM Punk. So anyway, happy 4th of July. Enjoy Independence Day.